Moving on now, most of us think that investing in hedge funds is only for wealthy investors, but the reality is quite different. Smart Funding is an Israeli company specializing in business development and fundraising within Israeli ventures. This week, we're introducing one of their breakthrough companies, TopNet, which holds Tavor Hedge Fund. The company facilitates available and accessible investment for every level of investor. Now, joining us to tell us all about it, Tavor Hedge Fund founder and chief analyst, Yoav Zelikovich. Thank you so much for joining me today, Yoav.
Thank you.
Well, let's get into your investment model. Why don't you tell me a little bit about Tavor and how it works?
Sure. Yeah, so I think in Israel, what I thought had been lacking up to now, Israel, the startup nation, is a fund that actually teach the Israelis to invest for the long term. And many investment firms in Israel are dedicated to returns in the short term. We're more long-term oriented, and that's why we opened it up, and that's our investment horizon.
Okay, so how does this method differ from other methods that are usually, used in Israel?
Yeah, great. So first of all, we might talk a bit about Warren Buffett, whose original partnership we based our fund upon. But first of all, we're performance incentivized, meaning that we don't take a management fee if we don't perform. And that puts our incentives much more in line with our investors. Second of all, my own personal money is there, meaning that if I don't perform, I'm going to suffer first. And third of all, it's in a fund that's usually invested in a tax-friendly and via an IRA account. So you can always access your funds, but it's not easily redeemable. So helping people have more of a long-term horizon.
Well, something that's really unique about you is that you're working with sort of smaller scale investors. So how do you do that?
True. Again, so this is in regards to in fact, that we're an IRA. IRA is the initials for individual retirement account, something not very common in Israel, very much more common in the States. But it's possible here, and any individual in Israel who has what's called a keren ishtalmut or a pension fund can manage their funds on their own or via one of our funds. Again, it's not everybody can invest. Some people may not fit for us, but whoever wants can speak to us, and we can manage their account via an IRA portfolio.
Okay, so let's say I wanted to invest. What is the minimum investment possible that I could have?
Great question. So I don't know about you, but I didn't grow up in a house with $1 million laying around. So
no, I did not either.
So it's very important for me to make sure that we're accessible to anybody. Again, there are various regulatory issues here, but in large, our services can be accessed by any individual with any amount.
Okay, and why don't you look a bit ahead into the future for us and tell us where you see this company going in the next, say, 5 years? Great.
So first of all, we want to continue enjoying what we're doing, and my partner is also here. We're having fun growing this business, and I want to keep it that way. We always, as I said, Warren Buffett is many investors' role models, and he, as he always says, tap dances to work every day. So that's, first of all, we want to keep it that way. We don't want to grow just to be large. We want to grow and have personal relationship with our clients. But yeah, over time, our business has been growing almost at 100% rate each year, our AUM, our assets under management. We want to keep that up, keep giving our investors good returns, hopefully, and keep them invested for the long term.
Now, if our viewers want to get some more information about your company and what you do exactly, where can they go to get that information?
Sure. So first of all, I have a blog in an Israeli newspaper, but it's in Hebrew. It's on The Marker. I'm not sure it's translated in English, but I also write a bit on Seeking Alpha. I have some articles. Like Warren Buffett, we write annual letters to our shareholders, and they can be accessed on Seeking Alpha in English as well. And we have a website as well, which you can link to, of course. And LinkedIn, any Facebook. We have a Facebook page where we put stuff up. So easily we can be found.
And like you said, our viewers can go to your website. That's www.smartfunding.co.il/en, correct?
Indeed.
All right. Yoav Zelikovich, thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about your great company.
My pleasure.
All the best.